Hey guys, welcome to the How to Deploy workshop, back again with Chris. You might be wondering, why are we coming to how to deploy immediately after how to debug?
Yeah.
Well, the answer is the best way, we believe, when it comes to building awesome experiences, is you want to deploy as often as possible.
Literally.
Really, like as soon as you have something that works, even if it's the first blank screen, getting that up, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And you don't want to wait on doing deployments to the end.
Oh my goodness.
That is because you would definitely want to get used to the habit of what it takes to deploy. Because people very often underestimate how difficult deployment is,
Yeah.
how much time it can take, and when you want to get software into the hands of people, what issues come with deployments. You want to make sure you've tested and deployed your application as soon as you have even one line of code written for your app.
That's big, Anubis, because some of you are building apps that have many components. You want it to send text messages. You have a front end, a back end, a database over here, and you need them to all talk to each other. And you've heard the old adage, "Oh, it works on my computer." Not gonna work. Not gonna work.
No, not here.
Not
at this hackathon.
Not at this hackathon. But what does it mean to deploy?
Yeah. So really what it means to deploy is to launch your app and get it in the hands of users. And I think what's important to understand is that it's a completely different process depending on what experience you're building.
Yeah.
And so really the question is, how do you deploy and release your app to the world? So we in the How to Code workshop talked about these different tools, some for more junior engineers or people who have just gotten into coding and programming, and some for more experienced individuals who have experience writing code, writing that logic, right? If you're more junior, let's say you started out with Vizer or Bolt.new, these tools, because they're targeted more to individuals who don't have a lot of experience deploying applications or building applications, they generally come with one-click deploy buttons or one-click deploy solutions.
That's true.
They come, there's a partner for these companies that have built these AI tools, which is called a hosting partner. But basically, it's a company who takes the responsibility of running your code on their servers, on their computers for your backend, or serving your front end code, meaning keeping the files for your front end code and giving them to any computer that's connecting to your app, meaning if you're going to your website, going to that link, pulling those files down.
What does that do for me?
Well, what it does for you is it simplifies quite a bit, because it means that you don't have to deal with, if you remember the Spain.
Yeah.
There was the idea of stability, performance, availability, and integrity.
Yeah.
Pretty much the first 4 of those 5 are handled by these providers.
Wow.
They decide to take on that responsibility for your application. If you're building something like a web app, let's say, for example, right? So Vercel and Netlify, these are examples of web hosting providers. They manage the infrastructure for you, the infrastructure that gives you that SP, A, and I. Now, they give you only a part of that, and that part is they say, hey, we will manage the SPA and I of Spain for you for the part of your app for the part of code or part of logic that delivers your experience to your user.
Okay.
But they do not manage that for the experience itself.
Okay, well said. So they can make sure that the user interface comes up correctly. They'll make sure that you get a domain where you can actually have your app showing up, but you still have to do some work to make sure the full experience
is meeting those criteria, is an awesome experience, right? So these hosting providers, they tend to have a pretty good free tier, pretty generous. However, they do end up being more expensive in the long run. And that's because they're built on top of some of the other hosting providers on the right that more experienced engineers use, like Azure, Google Cloud, and Amazon Web Services.
Right.
Amazon Web Services being the one that we use at Intellibus and is the most popular one in the market at the moment. Now, deploying to these is a much more involved process because it's usually, if you've never deployed to them before, we don't even recommend it.
No.
Because it requires a lot of research and knowledge.
Correct.
Mostly it requires having used their interfaces before. And these interfaces are quite complex. Amazon Web Services has tons of different products. Even going through and understanding the list of their products takes some time. Time that you may not have during the hackathon if you haven't done and used these products before.
Right.
And so usually these tools require some sort of manual or automated setup. The manual setup being, you go into Amazon Web Services, you click on their interface, you create an EC2 instance, or you create a Lambda function.
I am role needed.
I am roles, right? There's a whole ecosystem around this.
Yeah.
And again, for those of you who are not that experienced, don't be intimidated by a lot of what we're describing. Really, there are tools that help a lot.
Yeah.
And the more experienced folks on your team, I'm sure, if you want to go pick one of these hosting providers, will know how to guide you through this process and guide your team to success in deploying there.
And that's one of the reasons you have the coaches. The coaches have experience in these tools, but they may also have other recommendations based on your solution specifically. And so make sure you're making use of those around you. When it comes to deployment, one of the important things that you have to keep in mind is that you're going to be judged on the fact that your app is stable and available. So make sure it shows up, right? We want you to keep in mind that you're to use a tool that allows your app to be accessible to the world, just as Anubis said. And so you're not limited to these. These are just ones that we recommend.
Yep. And I think something to keep in mind too is that depending on the type of experience you're making, what a deployment looks like is very different.
True.
Right? So maybe for mobile apps, one of the key things to keep in mind is that whether you're going to the iOS App Store or Google Play Store, those have an approval process.
Yep.
So you can't even deploy them in the term of a hackathon. But what you can do is you can load it onto a physical real device.
Okay.
And when you do that, that counts as a deployment if you're able to hand that device to one of the judges.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
So, and the same way, I know there are even individuals who might be, doing something with hardware.
Okay.
Right? So, if you're able to get your logic and code to run on that hardware, you're able to demonstrate that to the judge. That also counts as a deployment. So really, this slide here and a lot of what we've just previously talked about is mostly about deploying software to the cloud and deploying software, deploying mostly the code and logic to other people's servers. But, logic can be deployed, it can be released, can be given to users in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different places, right? And then there are tools that help make this process easier. So I think that we had mentioned GitHub earlier in the How to Code. It's the collaboration tool that you want to use as developers, as engineers. It's how you share your code. It's how you synchronize what code you're all working on. And that tool has the ability to also share your code with something that's called a CI/CD pipeline. Now, this is a very fancy term, right? What this is, and for the more experienced engineers in the room, they have maybe more of an understanding of it, but it stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline.
Is that a website?
No, so what it is, it's a server.
Okay.
So you can imagine, when you're sharing computers with everyone on your team, sharing code with everyone on your team, your code is being shared between all of your different computers. Mm-hmm. But you can also share your code with another server. Mm-hmm. And that server, what it can be told to do is it can be told, hey, your job is to deploy and release my application to Amazon, to Azure, or to Google.
Oh.
Right? Because normally you would be, if you wanted to deploy your application to any of those services, you'd go to AWS's website, you would on your machine go and click through all the steps to deploy your application and go upload your app to AWS.
So CI/CD or a CI/CD pipeline allows me to do one thing, and then it triggers a bunch of follow-up steps that can get my app to go live.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
So it turns the complicated process of clicking through the AWS interface to deploy your app into something very close to that one-click deploy process.
Beautiful.
Right? It makes it so that all I need to do is push up my code.
Yeah.
And that's a term we haven't mentioned yet, but you will hopefully learn as part of the hackathon.
Mm-hmm.
But you will push up your code, or you will put your code onto GitHub or share it. And then when you do that, your deployment process starts. And that's really what that pipeline means. That's why we call it a pipeline, because it's a set of steps to get your application to go live on these hosting providers.
That sounds good. I'm building an app, Anubis. What am I going to do for my publishing pipeline? How do I deploy my app?
Mobile app, you mean?
Mobile app, yeah.
Yes. So if you're doing a mobile app, usually you'll use a tool like either Xcode or Android Studio to do that. And those tools have their pipelines built in. So you usually don't need to bother with setting all of that up. What you do have to do, though, is usually connect your device to your laptop, to the machine that is doing that deployment, and then pull it in there.
Oh, so I can test it.
So you can test
That's
it,
cool.
and so you can give it to the judges. If you are maybe a more advanced, more experienced developer, you may be more comfortable deploying directly to TestFlight or a beta store for you to test, and maybe you have tools set up to do that. That's also more than welcome to do that. But again, this is just more initially getting started, what you're likely to do. And one thing to keep in mind is that we talked about this pipeline. Really, this pipeline is defined as a set of steps. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of ways to define this pipeline, but really there is logic to this pipeline.
Yeah.
So CI/CD pipeline is also code, that is part of it. There's a logic that describes how to deploy your application. How do you get it up onto the cloud? And that logic is written in two parts. One part of that logic just describes what are the steps. Usually that's a configuration file that describes what are the steps involved in deploying. And one of those steps is going to be, hey, take the final version of my application and put it on AWS.
Okay.
And the code that does that is usually called infrastructure as code, is what it's called. But one of the tools that we recommend that we are very familiar with is Terraform for doing that. And that kind of rounds out the ecosystem at a very high level of what it looks like when it comes to deploying an application.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So if you miss anything, just make sure you understand you're being judged on your code going live. Like, it must be accessible to the world. And if you're a first timer, you can look at Vizer and Bolt. They have very nice deployment pipelines. They do some of that CI/CD stuff that we've just mentioned from that one-click interface. So if you have a database connected through Supabase to Bolt, which they have a direct integration with, they'll do that CI/CD to set up the database for you. So if that term is new to you, it might be better for you to stick to the more simple solutions. But if you're already an advanced dev, as Anubis was just mentioning, feel free to use these solutions, especially the ones that Intellibus uses.
Yep. And even if you are a more advanced dev, just given the time constraints of the hackathon, you are also welcome to use a simpler deployment or simpler hosting pipeline.
Absolutely.
All right. But that's it for how to deploy. I'm sure there's a lot of questions that are going to come from this, and we'll be happy to answer them on the actual hackathon floor. But thanks, guys.